All right, so we're back in Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and I am going to do a video I've wanted to do for quite a while since the first Discovery Kingdom Explorers Guide way back in August. I wanted to give you guys a tour of the DC area of the park and also kind of my hypothetical what they could do to this area to make it fully DC, because as of now it's like 90% DC. So what we're looking at now is the Dolphin Experience pool, which has not been used in quite some time. I want to say at least a good year and a half, maybe 2 years. The thing has just been empty, standing here as you make your way into the DC area of the park. And it's just doing a whole hell of a lot of nothing right now. Dolphins used to be able to just jump right up here and we get to, they'd swim by and you could touch them and whatnot, stuff like that. So my proposition is some kind of Aquaman. I want an Aquaman ride in this area to kind of balance out all the seaside theme here, and also to, be a good transition from the Discovery, like the marine life and whatnot. Preferably maybe an Aquaman clone of the SNS Freefly, which, there's the Batman, there's the Joker. I'll get more into the Batman later, but so as you can see as we walk around this area, it really is just, used for a whole hell of a lot of nothing. I know the area out back behind those facades, these false facades right there, I know that is actually where they do their paid swim with the dolphin stuff. So I assume that's a big moneymaker for the park. That area is probably not going to go anywhere, but I don't know. I could see an SNS Freefly fitting in this area if they, if they squeeze it in. I don't think those attractions usually take up that big of a footprint, but I do like some of the theme over in this area. It's not much. It's Six Flags theme, but you got this little cannon hiding out in there, kind of tucked away. And so as we get into the DC park, it's certainly not like, oh, it's Disneyland, but with DC. No, it's just, there's a few DC rides here and there. The Penguin Tsunami Soaker ride, this used to be Tsunami Soaker for like a season and a half before it turned into the Penguin. This is honestly the thing I was shocked to not get the Aquaman treatment. I thought for sure this thing was going to turn into an Aquaman ride. But alas, that's not what happened, and there is kind of a fun little penguin motif going on there. You can see kind of the penguins, like the little penguin characters around the big cardboard cutout of the guy. So just... And there is the gift shop at which you exit out of from the Joker, the Funhouse shop. So let's talk about V2 for a second, which is currently running. There we go, that's a nice shot. V2's got to become the Flash, right? It's just got to. That's like the one. If they want to fit V2 in with the rest of the DC rides here, they've got to give it a retheme to the Flash. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see that come as early as like late in the 2017 season. Because it's like we're only like a few weeks into the 2016 or the 2017 season so far. This is also a location that people have been talking about for the SNS Freefly. If we ever get one of those, might be very possible. So you guys can kind of see this ride struggles a bit in the ridership department. It actually there's really not a ton of activity to it right now today. But I picked a really good day to go here because there's basically no lines anywhere in the park. It's pretty sweet. Actually, the V2 in Six Flags Great America, which is really the reason I bring that up. Oh God, hold on. We got the Joker. The Joker causing noise pollution. Hello, people on the Joker. All right. They don't need me filming them. So, the reason why I want this ride to stay in this park is for one reason and one reason only. It's because it makes the entrance to the park so unique. That spike that spike that you're seeing right here, I'm going to kind of try and get a good shot of it as the coaster actually launches up. But the spike actually goes right up over the entrance to the park. And it's like a very distinct thing you see. Like, it's kind of a tradition to look up and see the V2 cars go in. And if this coaster were to be removed, I really don't want that to happen because of the, because of the impact it would have just on the visuals of the park entrance. I hope I'm not somehow slowing down this getting launched somehow by me being here. Or maybe it just broke down, I don't know. I mean, it really is a pretty intense ride. I'd say out of the Joker, Superman, and V2, this is probably the most intense in the area. So, all right, let's watch the ride do a cycle. Yeah. It's very overcast today in Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, so I apologize if the lighting isn't necessarily the best. Okay, just waiting for these guys to launch off. All clear. Okay. Alright guys, let's just check out a cycle of this. And like I said, if anything else, this ride needs to be rethemed to the Flash because it's totally about speed and velocity and whatnot. Seems like stuff that's right up Flash's alley. There we go. Now, I pointed this out last time, but see how the trains don't go fully up the spike? They actually stall, and that gives a different experience. That pretty much gives a different experience for each individual seat as you stall at different points, and so you can be completely upside down, somewhat upside down. Now it's going to the highest point. I must admit, there was a little bit of a rattle to this ride, especially once you get up to that high point. But it's an icon of the park. I don't want it to leave. More Joker. And then just pay attention how, see how it stalls. And like I said, as it stalls up there, different seats have different experiences. Okay, that's about it. It is what makes V2 in this park pretty unique. Whereas the V2 in Six Flags Great America is essentially like a stripped-down version of Wicked Twister from Cedar Point. There's the Joker doing the breaking wave. So one of the things I noticed riding the Joker is that different sides and different seats give different varying degrees of airtime. And sadly, one of the elements that doesn't give a lot of airtime compared to the last time I was here was this this beautiful breaking wave turn right here. Used to just pop you right out of your seat, but now, I don't know, now both the breaking wave elements in this ride don't really do a ton. But the bunny hills and all that are still very good in terms of airtime. And so, yeah, this ride is, I mean, I do see the issue in the ridership. It is struggling to get, like, even a few people on a cycle at a time. Kind of feel bad for the cast members working there. It's a really slow day today. A lot of downtime, I imagine. So that was like a little diversion into V2 as we get into the rest of this area. You know, I mean, if I were to workshop this, stuff like the tattoos would go, stuff like the giant carnival game that's just in the middle of the area randomly can go. But let's head towards Superman and also towards Wonder Woman, or at least the Wonder Woman construction site. This is still one of my favorite exteriors, by the way. I really love what Six Flags managed to do with this. Chattering teeth. I mean, seriously, who doesn't want to ride a ride with that? I'm just going to go in here really quick to show you guys the Funhouse mirrors, which they've installed in here since I've last been here, I think. Yeah, I have to, like, check that out. right down there. I'm really tiny. Alright. I don't know. Sorry. No problem. Then you can kind of see the emblem of the ride right down there. It's already starting to fade quite a bit over just the rainy season. But yeah, the ha ha ha. Maybe they should go and repaint that. This used to be on green and purple RMC track, but I guess now it's just on silver RMC track. Sure, why not? And here is basically like the prime real estate of the park. The go-kart track. Now, the problem with the go-kart track in terms of actually removing it is, you know, it does make money for the park. It is a moneymaker, so if you were to take it out, you would be taking out something that would make money outside of admission tickets. But just look at this area. This area is absolutely the area in the whole park that is just prime for a new ride. And I personally think this is where you need the Batman ride to go. I more or less think it's inevitable that this park's going to get a Batman ride sometime in the next few years. We have the Joker, we have Wonder Woman, we have Superman, you know, we even have the Penguin. We have 2 Batman villains, but no Batman ride. What's up with that? So this is absolutely what I want to see, where I want to see the Batman. I would prefer it if, you know, God willing, we got some sort of original design. I don't necessarily want the Batman ride to be the S&S Free Fly. Like I said, I'd rather have the S&S Free Fly be an Aquaman ride. Just to add a little bit of uniqueness to it, because we haven't seen an Aquaman coaster yet. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I know that people don't really like the Batman the Ride clones and how many there are, but if they just wanted to plop down a Batman the Ride clone right here, I'd be totally satisfied with that. Because it would be a B&M invert as opposed to the Vekoma invert that we have at this park now. And yeah, that would be wonderful. But so that's about all I have in terms of like the brainstorming. Like I said, I'd like to see the Aquaman S&S Free Fly kind of over near the dolphin pool. V2 needs to be changed to Flash. That's an easy fix. I mean, it's already Flash color, so come on, what are you waiting for? Alright, finally, let's go, I'll give you guys a tour of the Superman queue, and then I'll end on maybe a view of the Wonder Woman construction progress. Yeah, if I can get close enough to see it, I don't know. So the emblem of Superman, this is like a much newer ride, but it looks a lot better than the emblem for the Joker. Just very clean, very bright, very popping. Yes. It really is a striking entrance point, especially with the music playing. This ride, of course, is a Skyloop 2 coaster, similar to something like Tempesto at Busch Gardens. There's quite a few clones of them. SeaWorld's getting the electric eel soon. But this is the first. This is the very first model. We got it first, so when this coaster first came to the park, it was unique. We had not seen anything like it. As you can see, one of the elements I really like about this ride is just kind of how it builds up the Superman villains. Lex Luthor, we have Darkseid over there, Brainiac, Bizarro, Metallo. That's fun, kind of highlighting the enemies of Superman. I'm gonna go up on this platform and see if I can get a good view of the Wonder Woman construction. Now, I have honestly never seen the line actually extend out into these switchbacks. The worst I've ever seen it is like filling up all these switchbacks, and obviously that's not the case today. Today it's a walk-on, which is beautiful. But if you were to wait in these switchbacks, then you can at least get a good Superman origin story through these comic book panels. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. So you get Superman's powers and abilities. His villains. What is this? Oh, this is cool. This is like a chart of like, check this out. Actually, I'll get closer to this. This is actually a really cool detail. So it looks like it's like a chart of all the different Superman characters and creations. You know, there's like other aliens, parallel Earth, Kryptonian, and there's allies and enemies. There's Kryptonian allies, Kryptonian enemies, other alien, parallel Earth, Earthlings. It's, yeah, that's crazy. That's a good amount of detail right there. All right, and I think I'm just like caught in this web of switchbacks for the moment, so I'll just walk through. There's the Joker break run right there. Okay, and here is where you guys can see the construction for Wonder Woman. I mean, not much is happening now, but this is certainly where the Wonder Woman attraction is going to go. So let me see if I can get you a good view of that. Let me see, I mean, certainly don't want to, I'm tempted to go through this fence, but I'm not going to. It's cool, I've got a good view right from here. So yeah, this whole that whole area that's being cleared right there, that's where the Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth flat ride is going to go, and it's going to be a pretty insane flat ride from what I hear. It's a clone of the Riddler's Revenge, which opened last year, and no, that's not the floorless coaster from Magic Mountain. It's the, I don't know, it's a crazy sort of super flat ride. It looks kind of like a Frisbee Huss, but it's a lot more intense than a Frisbee Huss from what I've heard. What I'm curious about is that it goes up 150 feet, and it's like right on the edge of the borders of the park. Those fences you see right there, that's essentially the outside walkway to get into the park. So what I'm wondering is this Wonder Woman ride going to actually go outside of those fences, and are we going to see something much like V2 that kind of extends out over the walkways as you're walking into the park? Speaking of V2, there you go. There's a good example of V2 right there. See how it goes right over the entranceway. All right, and here you can also get a good view of the Joker. All those empty rows. It's a walk-on every single time. It's crazy, guys. I bought a locker for 2 hours, and I only ended up needing it for an hour because I've done everything here multiple times, and I want to get on to do some more stuff. So that's it. There's my long-winded video explaining the DC side of this park. So, all right. So hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back soon.